Hello everyone, today I will give you a high-level overview of the different components of an automated trading system. So the first component is the data extractor. With the data extractor, you will try to extract data from sources, for example on the internet, to perform some analysis. An example of a data source could be a commercial API, or it could be a free API, for example the Java JQL API, by which you can extract stock data at a given point in time. In this example, we extracted some data for the stock prices of the Apple shares and some data for the stock prices of the Microsoft shares. The next part is the artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence consists of a data analyzer, a backtester, and an order execution component. So the data analyzer, you will try to match certain patterns. In this case, for example, we have an Apple stock and we have Microsoft stock. What is important if you want to, for example, find a relationship between the price of an Apple stock and a Microsoft stock is that you make sure that the data sources are normalized. In this case, for example, we can see that the data source for the Microsoft stock consists a data point on the 22nd of April, which does not exist in the Apple stock. To be able to make a good comparison, we need to make sure that all the dates are the same for each stock which we compare. So if you want to compare the Apple stock with the Microsoft stock, we have to remove this data point so that the dates are the same. The problem with removing such data point is that your analysis will be less effective. But it's a consideration you have to make depending on your strategy. It depends also, is your strategy more long-term or is it very short-term, which can have a high impact. So suppose you find a pattern where you see the price of the Apple stock, whenever the price of the Apple stocks goes up, you see that also the price of the Microsoft shares goes up. What you would then want to do is you want to backtest the pattern that you have found. Two questions you have to ask yourself to be able to build a good backtester is to see, okay, I find this pattern. How many times do I see this pattern over some historical data? If the pattern reoccurs, you see whenever the stock of Apple goes up, the Microsoft stock goes up, even during crises or during the Great Depression, then it might be a good pattern to use. But the next thing you need to do is also see, is my pattern profitable? So suppose, what I mean by that is, suppose I buy an order of I buy an Apple share, and then I see it goes up by 3%, and then I buy a Microsoft share. Then you have to see, okay, with how much percentage does the Microsoft stock go up, and how much profit did I make during when I matched the pattern. So based on that, you have to build in general a kind of model to be able to say, okay, I give my backtester, for example, 10,000 euros virtual money, and I want to simulate an order. I want to, every time the pattern is found, I want to simulate an order and see how many profits I make once that pattern is matched. In that way, you can see, okay, I started with 10,000 euros virtual money, and after the backtester was done, I made, for example, another 10,000 euros, or I lost 5,000 euros. So you have to be able to build a whole simulation model to be sure that the pattern you will be using is profitable. That is very important. So in the backtester part, you will have a part where you will try to match the pattern, and then once you match the pattern, you will have a part where you simulate an order, and simulate, for example, a buy order, and then simulate a sell order, and then see how many profits you make each time you match the pattern. That for me at the moment is really the most difficult part, because it requires you to take into account a lot of different factors. Okay. Suppose you have found a pattern, you see that you have tested with your backtester, and you say, okay, I'm confident that this pattern works. Then the next step is the integration between the artificial intelligence and a trading platform. For the moment, there are a lot of different trading platforms which already exist, but there are not a lot of trading platforms which provide you an API by which you can directly create an order. In my case, currently I'm using Interactive Brokers, because that is the only trading platform at the moment I've found to have an API which is quite easy to understand. But I'm sure there are a lot of other brokers out there which provide the same functionality. So